Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. We continue on with our double object pronouns. Here are all the pronouns that you're going to come up with. We've got the direct object pronouns here. We have the indirect object pronouns here. We have the reflexive pronouns here. And that's it, with the exception of subject pronouns, again, which are yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, ellos, ellas, ustedes. They have nothing to do with double object pronouns here. Those are subject pronouns. So keep those apart. Okay, we know that the me, the te, and the nos are never ever going to change whether they're indirect, direct, or reflexive. They stay the same. So our area of concentration, our focus, is right here. Are we going to use lay? When does the say come in? Are we going to use lo? Are we going to use la? Are we going to use lace or say? Are we going to use los or las? Okay, remember that the indirect object pronouns are lay and lace. The direct object pronouns are lo, la, and los, las. If you can ask the question what with the verb and get an answer like what you bought, what you sold, what you saw, what you said, then that's going to be your direct object. And if you want to replace that with a pronoun, that would be your direct object pronoun. Okay, that would be lo, la, los, and las. If you want to say to whom, for whom, on whom, or at whom, if you can ask that question with a verb and get an answer, that's your indirect object, right? And the indirect objects are lay and lace. Remember, almost all the time, lay and lace will refer to a person exclusively. However, there is an example like I put sugar on it, le eché azúcar. I put cream in it, le agregué crema, le puse crema, ¿verdad? Le eché crema. But those are very few and far between examples. Lay and lace are going to refer to people. Lo and la can be him or her, but they both also can be it. So lo and la can refer to people or objects. Los and las can be them, people, or objects. All right, so what we have here, we're going to work with the verb dar, to give. The present tense of dar, doy, das, da, damos, dan. Doy, das, da, damos, dan. Preterite of the verb to give, like I gave, you gave, he gave, we gave, they gave. Di, diste, dio, dimos, dieron. No accent marks. The future tense, verb number 6 of the verb dar, take the infinitive and add the future endings. Daré, I will give. Darás, you will give. Dará, he or she or it, usted, you will give. Daremos, we will give. Darán, they will give. Okay, we're going to work with 3 verbs here. We have 9 sentences, and let's see if you can get them right. Remember your ID card. When you have 2 object pronouns together, the indirect always comes before the direct. That's why we call it an ID card. Remember, ID, indirect, refers to people. Direct can refer to people or objects. So, first of all, it's indirect and then direct. Burning house, you go in and get the people out and then the objects. All right, here we go. We gave them to him. We're talking about las llaves, so it's feminine. We gave them to him. First of all, you want to get the verb. We gave, that's going to be preterite. Can you figure it out? We gave. Dimos. Now, them, we're talking about las llaves. So we need to find the pronoun, the direct object pronoun for las llaves. Well, that's going to be las. So we've got las, and to him, we know, is going to be lay. So the indirect object pronoun first, lay, then the direct object pronoun, las, and then dimos. So you would have lay, las, dimos. But in Spanish, we cannot have 2 object pronouns together next to each other that both begin with the letter L. If that's the case, it's either going to be lay or lace in front, right? You need to change it to say. So the answer here, we gave them to him, would be se las dimos. They gave it to us. Well, they They give it to us. Give is present tense. They give, dan. Okay, it. We're talking about correo. So that's masculine. How do you say it for something masculine and singular? Lo. And to us is going to be nos. So we need the indirect pronoun, the person first. That's nos. The object would be lo. And then the verb would be they give it to us. Nos, where are we? Nos lo dan. Nos lo dan. They give it to us. I give it to him. You're talking about la comida, food. I give it to him, like your dog, okay? I give it to him. The food, who gives him the food? ¿Quién le da la comida? I give him the food, okay? I give it to him. Well, I give, we know, is doy. It, if it's for la comida, is going to be la. And to him, we know, is le. So you go indirect object, le, then direct object, la, and then your verb, doy, I give. So you have le, la, doy. We can't have two object pronouns together beginning in L, so the le changes to say. So our answer would be se la doy. It's getting easy. They will give it to them. We're talking about el dinero, money, masculine, singular. They will. Will, when you hear will, they say in English, where there's a will, there's a way. In Spanish, we say where there's a will, there's a six. Where there's a will, there's a future. Okay, they will give. So that'll be the last one, darán. They will give it. It for money, el dinero, is going to be lo. And then to them is going to be les. Right here, les. So we start off with indirect. Les, lo, darán. You can't go les, lo. Got to change the les to say. Say, lo, darán. Now if you want to clarify the say, which is actually the le, you'd say, se lo darán a ellos. To them. Okay, here. I gave them to her. Like flowers. Flowers are feminine. Las flores. Hey, if you're going to give a girl that you like flowers, why always give her roses? Carnations are great, but you know what I say? If you're going to give a girl flowers, give her tulips. Tulips. Get it? Give her tulips. There you go. Okay, I gave them to her. I gave is preterite. That's D. Them referring to las flores is going to be las. And to her, again, it's going to be le. So it'd be le, las, di. You can't go le las. You got to go se las. Se las di. Clarify the say. Se las di a ella. Se las di a mamá. Se las di a Lucinda. Will you give it to me? You're talking about el libro. Will you? Where there's a will, there's a future. Where there's a future, there's a six. Will you give? Darás. It for libro will be lo. And to me would be me. So this is easy. Me lo darás. Will you give it to me? Me lo darás. I will give, it to her. Sorry, the word it is not there. Pretend you see the word it here. I will give it to her. You're talking about la carta, which is a letter. So I will give is daré. It for la carta would be la, and to her again is le. So what do you have? Le la daré. Can you say that? Can you say that? No. Se la daré. Se la daré a ella. This is fun. She gives it to him. La llave, like every morning. She gives it to him. She gives, present tense would be da. It for la llave would be la, and to him is le. It's getting easy, huh? So you got le la da, or le la da a él. But you can't say le la. You got to change the le to se. Se la da. That's it. Or se la da a él. Did you give it to her? You're talking about money again, el dinero. Did you give diste? How do you say it when you're referring to el dinero? It's going to be lo. And to her would be le. So what do we have? Your indirect first, le. Lo for el dinero. And then diste. Did you give it to her? Se lo diste? Se lo diste? Double object pronouns. The indirect referring to the person comes first, and then the direct object pronoun comes second. And they go here in front of a conjugated verb. We know they can go in front of a negative command like don't give it to her, no se lo des, right? Don't sell it to him, no se lo vendas. Can also go on the end of an infinitive. I'm going to sell it to her, voy a vendérselo, right? I'm selling it to her, estoy vendiéndoselo, right? And you can put it on the end of a positive command. Véndeselo, sell it to her. But don't worry about all these places you can put the se-lo and me-lo and te-lo. Just know for double object pronouns, most of the time we're going to use them in front of a conjugated verb. The indirect pronoun comes first and then the direct. Remember, me, te, and nos will never change, whether it's indirect, direct, or reflexive. It's the lay you got to watch out for, okay? Remember, lo and la can mean him and her or it. Los and las can mean them in terms of people or them in terms of objects. Le and les, le means to him, for him, on him, or at him, or on it. For example, I put sugar on it. Le pongo azúcar, okay? It is maybe a fruit or cereal or something. It's not a person. But I'm telling you, almost all the time when you use le or les, it's referring to people. Okay, that's it for double object pronouns tonight with this lesson. I'm going to get back to other chores. I'm planning out our next lesson right now. So thank you again, guys. I appreciate the comments. Do lesson requests. If you need help with something, send in a request. And many times we make a lesson specifically on your request. I appreciate all the comments. To be honest with you, this takes a lot of time. It's a labor of love. But each one of these takes at least an hour, hour and a half out of my day to do one if it goes quickly. And I love doing that, not a problem. But some days are really busy and it's hard to get them in. So like the lesson I'm doing right now is my second lesson today. I'm going to put it on YouTube and schedule it to be published within 24 hours. So keep sending your comments. When you say nice things, it's always very encouraging and I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys, and I know the system works. I taught Spanish for decades and decades and decades. Courtroom interpreter, do bilingual exams for cities, even announced in Spanish. I know the system works because it's simple, it's cut to the chase. It's, what do we call it? The lowest, LCD Spanish, the lowest common denominator. We take it down to its most simple form and then make it easy to understand. Thank you so much. Hey, we're at 4,100 some subscribers. Please subscribe. Favor de suscribirse. And please hit the like, hit that little heart or whatever it is. Give me a like if you would, if you like the lesson, and please subscribe. It helps get our lessons out to more people, and we're trying to tear into that algorithm and get it out to a broader audience. Okay? Take care of yourselves, be good, stay safe, and drink your water. Okay. Love you guys. See you soon.